Is to share segments of my life, and especially that part that I shared with Dr. Martin King. If I were in a Baptist church, I would have brought my hoop. Unfortunately, you white folk don't know what that means.
Do you, Pastor?
Yeah. Let me educate the white ones. Hoop is when the preacher puts his finger in his ear, get a little loud, move around, and then after he gets through, he takes up an offering. This year, I will be 85 years old. So in 1934, I was born to Ike and Dorothy Blake. My daddy never learned to read or write. My mother only finished 3rd grade. My daddy was what is called a sharecropper. I lived on a plantation until I was 24 years old, and perhaps would be there even today, except my wife freed me. She asked me to marry her. Let me give you a little lesson on the difference between a plantation and a farm. And you notice I said I lived on a plantation. A plantation is when someone owns the farm and you become a sharecropper. A sharecropper was an elevated form of slavery. So I really lived a modern edition of a slave, in that my daddy was a sharecropper. What happened, he would work the crop, cotton, and half of the cotton that he harvested belonged to the owner. And from his half, he had to pay for the house, the clothing, the food, and the use of the mules and the cultivators. And you never got out of debt. You always ended that year at harvest time in debt. So you owed your soul to the company store. You could not move from that plantation unless another white farmer paid the price to your owner, so to speak, and moved you to his plantation. Now you're in debt to him, and you cannot leave. Fortunately, and I don't know how it happened, except God, my daddy every year did break even or made some money. My daddy never made over $20 a week in his life, and didn't make that when it rained. Had 4 children, didn't have any money to send us to college, but gave us enough motivation. We found a way to go on our own. I went to a 1-room church school where the owner of the plantation built the church, Baptist church, and named or designated a person to teach 1st through 7th grades. When I finished 7th grade and went to a school in the city off of the plantation, I had my first encounter of knowing what the 8 parts of speech were and really didn't know what a fraction was, except it was a number written over the top of the number. But when I moved to Caddo Parish and started at Booker, Washington, in my 9th grade year, how God did it, I don't know. I became president of my class and graduated with honors. It was a challenge to me because all of my life I've been trying to catch up. Even in my class, I had to catch up, and sometimes I would spend all night trying to learn algebra, chemistry, and the subjects so I could compete with my class. And even at 85, I'm spending time trying to catch up with technology.